Couple of days back, I received an email from TfL all about the ULEZ, what it was, what I was entitled to, what support I could hope to get from them, and a very little telling line at the bottom, road user charging. Well, I thought I'd better make a video about it, bring it to you, let you know what I got and what you thought of it. Many comments, and I'll read some of them to you now. Everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're well. Thank you very much for joining me again, and good to see you. Thank you very much for your support. Make sure you continue to hit all the right buttons in the right places, stay notified, hit the like, leave comments, and interact with everybody here. Well, yes, I got an email from TfL all about the ULEZ. These things are getting splattered here, there and everywhere all over the country. I wanted to document what I got, what was said, and what I thought about it. God, there were so many comments. And I wanted to do a video and read through some of them now. So here we go. Right, Robert Gillen. I hope removing your number plates doesn't catch on. Well, there's been a couple of videos, and if you look at my live on Sunday, there was one that had rotating number plates. So you had the number plate, and when it rotated round, it went fuck off. And you could switch it round. Chris M. I also received a letter from TfL explaining why I would get charged for driving my diesel V70 into their town. Firstly, we were all told that diesel fuel was the future around 20 years ago. Yeah, I remember that. So 70% of drivers changed to diesel engine cars. All at the behest of our government, because petrol was a more toxic fuel and the safety of pedestrians was paramount. No argument there. Indeed, later in that same letter, they clearly stated that the reason for all this was to improve the air quality for London residents. Again, all good. No complaint. But if the air quality is so bad and needs improving, why are residents not made to wear a mask to help in filtering these fumes? A COVID-style mask would surely assist and help. The NHS at the same time by reducing cases. In Japan, where traffic fumes have been a problem for decades, many people wear a mask for that very reason. My point is that Khan should be telling residents they must wear a mask for immediate protection and relief. Or is this all another falsehood? You've hit the nail right on the head there, I think. I very much go by the real-time air quality monitoring systems throughout the world, basically. And normally, the air quality in London is fine, which means all this is horse shit. It really is. Now, over the last 24, 48 hours, it hasn't been fine. And that's because we've had a cloud of dust blown in from the Sahara. I've even spoken to friends of mine further up the line, and they've had a nice coating of it all over their cars. But other than that, usually all right. The L Dunn. This guy measures the air quality from the surface, then down to the underground. Spoiler alert. His meter goes past the value for hazardous. Why are TfL not getting fined for the pollution they are generating in the underground? Totally agree with you. This is, totally and utterly missed, isn't it? All the time, the underground. He was preaching online about 4G and 5G connectivity all through the underground, yet no talk about the obvious pollution, and they're hammering the drivers up top. Scam. Christine Ayres, good to see you. Andy, do you want a good laugh? A friend of mine has a 1.6 Fiesta. It's ULEZ exempt. But he's fitted a huge decat exhaust to his car. So please, can Mr. Khan explain how ULEZ is helping anyone when modified cars that emit more CO2 than your diesel taxi are green? Anyway, the whole thing's a big scam. Brown Car Guy is excellent. I agree with that. Go check him out. On this subject, go to his channel. He has fought hard against Khan. Brown Car Guy is one of these that's gone round with an air quality meter, and he's gone round literally everywhere, and the results are astounding. He released a video I think a day or two ago, and I think he seems to have got a load of grief because of his efforts, and been quite nasty actually. And unfortunately, this is the kind of hate that gets spewed when you push the right button in the right places. Brian, Hi Andy, there's a song on YouTube by Lucy Blue called I Want to Be a Taxi Driver. The video is filmed in London. It could be your theme song. Please give it a look. It's great. I'll tell you what, I've been having discussions. You know, I've got the intro and the outro. Been thinking about not changing it so much, just smartening it up a bit. So maybe I'll have a look. Old Beckonackin. The Brits have lost their backbone, sadly. I feel you're right. We're all sitting here moaning, but not taking action. Look at what the French do. Live life. Londoners need to work together and harden up. Yes, a simple no. Derek Nesbitt. It's cart before the horse politics, and it starts in Westminster. Look at next zero. No clue how they fund it. Can't. Just using the Davos playbook. Well, if you type his name in, and there's a couple of anagrams and abbreviations you can put next to his name. Very telling. C40. I don't trust him. There's an attitude of my way or no way. I admire all who fight back. I'm convinced it's to make it easy for the rich, etc. Don't trust him. That's from somebody with a anonymous username, but a very worthwhile comment. Pig parts. They are using our money to make our lives a misery. That's the way it feels. JRBS, yada yada yada, sums it up nicely. Absolutely. Fat Tony. I have a good mate who is a subcontractor who runs a small business with 2 transits and a vehicle-mounted cherry picker. He now has started to refuse work that involves going into London or Birmingham. He could not be doing with the cost of the hassle. I think a lot of tradesmen are going to be like that. I'm very loath to go into London with my business. You know, it's awful. It's just going to kill the place. Andrew Watson. Khan has categorically stated there won't be a road user charging scheme. He can say that because he knows he will be voted out before it can be introduced. So he will have spent millions on a load of cameras that will be redundant in a couple of years. Thanks, Sadiq. Well, I fear they won't be redundant because even if he gets voted out, I fear that this is all preordained. Talking about the cameras, Chessington, it's well documented that it's within the zone. Driver of mine went up there. Can't see any cameras anywhere. Chris, it's always about the money. Fred Bradley, if you need a change, stop voting for Tory and Labour. Simple. Absolutely, I agree with you. Ivor Toad. Road user charging is not a new idea. When the European Galileo GPS system was being developed, it was one of the main attributes of it. GPS type accuracy down to multi-millimetres, not multi-metres. The system has cost billions to build, and road user pricing shall pay for it. GPS is so accurate now, isn't it? Absolutely. Carl Jackson, you just getting colder. There's not wrong with it. What does that mean, I wonder? For Stranger, this has all been about pay per mile. It's the best money raking scheme there is because you can calculate your profit and charge what you like. The money is taken at source, direct debit from your bank, and there is nothing you can do. Sadly, many of us will be trapped at home, unable to go out, unable to shop, visit friends, go on holiday, day trips or visits. Your food will be delivered to your door, and public transport will be your only option if you're able-bodied and able to afford it. I live in an outer city suburb, and my nearest shopping centre is 8 miles. If I take my car, it takes 14 minutes to drive, but ULEZ prevents that. By bus, it takes 68 minutes. If I pay, it costs £4 one way. If I use my bus pass after 9:30 a.m, then I can arrive just before 11 a.m. It's a complete whole day trip to use the bus, and not very pleasant experience on your own. I can't use my car because my car doesn't suit the political view at the moment, and to change would cost £15,000, which I don't have and never will. Scrappage scheme doesn't cut it, does it? I can't walk far due to disability, but can just manage to go to the local bus stop. My local shops are beyond my ability, so I sit in my house every day, attend to my small garden and live my life in solitude, scared to venture out and hope for another time like the one I used to have before. These people decided to destroy my life. Welcome to Britain, the polluter of the known world, and most hated country. Very profound comment, and it shows exactly the issues that people are going to face with this, doesn't it? And the last comment I'll leave you, it's quite a funny one really. I was walking home with Jack, my young son, and he says to me, "Daddy, what's this thing with electric cars?" I said, "What do you mean?" He says, "Well, they're no good. They're far too expensive to produce, and people can't afford them." That from a 10-year-old. Says it all, doesn't it? Anyway, thank you very much. I'm off. I'll see you shortly with one more. Toodaloo.